That's a great question, actually. Fruits aren't as good as non-starchy veggies. Okay, so first off, I'd rather snack on carrots than, say, apples. Although, look, if you want to do fruits, the best of the fruits probably are berries. Raspberries, blueberries, blackberries.
Because of the antioxidants.
Antioxidant, also the relatively lower sugar content. Blueberries. Strawberries, okay. Okay. Now, your worst fruits are like pineapples, mangoes, but they're not the end of the world, dude. You know, if you enjoy a good mango, it's much better to have a mango than a Snicker bar or ice cream or some processed sugar. So if you want to get some natural sugar from an apple, you want to snack on an apple, better than snacking on chips, right? Apple and peanut butter. If you want to do that's fine. That's much better. But again, non-starchy veggies take priority to fruit. Then I would do berries, and then I would do, bananas are not very good. They're not evil, but they're not that great. You can get more potassium in one date than you can a whole, not like a human date, but a date you eat.
And mixing that apple with the natural peanut butter will help satiate you.
And also cut the sugar effect, because if you take fat with sugar, it will cut the insulin response. Basically, you don't want to have a high insulin response.
Insulin glycemic index.
Exactly. When you have an high insulin response, that insulin is what causes you to get fat. See, when you have sugar, it's got to get out of the blood. It's toxic to the blood. So insulin comes in and says, hey, we have too much sugar around. We need to get rid of the sugar. So where does it drive it to? It drives it into the fat cells. And by the way, you've got unlimited fat cells. So unfortunately, anything that's high glycemic index, what Karen just mentioned astutely, is that it causes an insulinogenic response. Mm-hmm. So anything you can eat that doesn't cause an insulin response, such as fat, such as like avocados, saturated fat, these types of things, cheese, dairy. If you look at your insulin response, it's very minimal. Protein, a little bit, because 30% of protein turns into sugar. 30% of protein turns into sugar. Fat doesn't turn into sugar, and also so if you want to lose weight, the ketone, the Atkins diet, although I don't like it that much because they don't allow much like non-starchies, although they do as later on. But initially it's just like, no fruit, it's just protein and fat. So I think you needs non-starchies, and I do think you need fruit. I think the fruit's okay, and just don't go nuts with the fruit. People used to think you could eat fruit with reckless abandon, and that's not true.